877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Our weather continues to look fairly cold as we head into the weekend, but pretty quiet. Decreasing clouds over 97 above in the west suburbs with a lot of routines downtown. Sunshine low to mid-20s Friday, somewhat colder for the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, partly sunny. Highs only in the upper teens. I'm up to the from the Weather Channel on 890 AM WLS.
This morning at 11, it's Rush Limbaugh on 890 AM WLS.
From somewhere deep below the earth, this is Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie on Premier Radio Networks.
And of course, our special guest tonight, Linda Moulton. Our final hour of the program tonight, we'll have conversations with Linda. That's where you ask her questions, and in many cases, she's gotten some incredible stories from Coast to Coast listeners. We'll be back in a moment with her as we talk about lizard-skinned beans next on Coast to Coast AM. This holiday season, give the gift of good mornings. That's right. Improve the lives of everyone you care about with the gift of better sleep. Never before has there been as many solutions for head-to-toe comfort only at Sleep. You can find great gifts starting at $29.99 to the ultimate gift of all, the revolutionary Sleep Number bed. As a matter of fact, I have one, and I keep that number at 90, and what a great comfort it is for me. The Sleep Number bed is the only bed that can be personalized to your ideal comfort level, but it's the perfect bed for couples. You won't find a Sleep Number bed in an ordinary mattress store, only at a Sleep Number store. Go in and find your Sleep Number today. Hurry in now during our Sleep Number Special Edition bed closeout, where you can save $550 while the supplies last. With 400 stores nationwide, there's a select comfort right around the corner. Find yours by calling 1-800-390-9100, 1-800-390-9100.
What that sound is? Let me help you out. Is a jail cell door getting slammed shut after you've been booked for DUI? Don't think you'll get caught? Think again. Officers are cracking down from coast to coast this month. So listen up. If you drive impaired, you will pay. Drunk driving, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation. Chairman of Interstate Batteries. Now, I don't mean to brag, but I recently learned auto technicians prefer Interstate Batteries 5-to-1 over any other battery. Oh, who am I kidding? Of course I mean to brag. 5-to-1, that's a landslide. All right, I'm done bragging. To find the dealer near you that prefers us, head to interstatebatteries.com. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. And that's not bragging, it's just the truth.
When weather happens, stay informed with comprehensive forecasts from the Weather Channel on 890 AM WLS.
Linda, you all ready for Christmas?
Well, I'm getting there, and tonight in Albuquerque, it has been snowing, the first snow of the season so far, and we really need snowpack for water, so it's nice. But tomorrow, the sun is supposed to be out, sky blue again.
We've been getting worse weather here in the Midwest. I'm going back to LA in a few weeks, but we had an ice storm last night, and after the show, when I went home, I was getting out of my car, I did a flip, and I got flying.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I left some bruises on my elbow and bounced on my hip, but I'm all right. But I heard yesterday and then today, half the city of St. Louis fell. People were falling all over the place.
It was one of those fast freezes.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe in January you can check in and see if there's anything worthy of what's going on with the weather these days.
Yeah, there really is a lot, and it's erratic. And I am planning to do a story with the NASA solar physicist also about the sun. And what I'll try to do is combine the two in a report.
That'll be great. Now, lizard people, huh? What's going on here?
Well, in addition to the southern Florida light phenomena, back in November for Coast and Earth Files, I also had an interview with that Texas nurse who asked to remain anonymous, but who said she and her husband had encountered both a chartreuse green light that she sketched in her illustrations and a non-human entity right there at their bedroom window that she compared the skin that she was looking at, she said 8 inches from her face on the other side of the window, as looking like tree bark. And after that broadcast, I received, within hours of the broadcast, came an email entitled, "The Texas Nurse Had My Experience. Greetings, Linda. I'm now 57 years old. Normally, I would never tell anyone about this, but the beings that nurse described are the ones I had an experience with in 1977. I'm telling you this because it's the first time I have ever heard an accurate description of greenish skin like tree bark from anyone. There is more to the story of my encounter with these little," and he used a cuss word. I followed up with an email reply asking if I could talk with him by phone, and on November 30th he agreed that I could record an interview for Earth Files and for Coast, provided that I not disclose his real name or location. So I called him Mr. Jones, who was born and raised in Pasadena, California. After high school, he began undergraduate college work, but dropped out to raise his young son after a troubled marriage ended. After working in construction for some time, he returned to school, and in the early 1980s, he began working as a TV and radio broadcast engineer until his retirement in 2008. During his career, he did work on broadcast assignments with an American president. And back in 1977, at age 24, Mr. Jones was renting a house to raise his then 5-year-old son. That year, his young son went through a period where he woke up at night screaming. Mr. Jones would run to his son, who always said to his father, quote, "There's a man standing in the corner," close quote. Even more strangely, his son would also say that someone was, quote, "reaching through the wall towards him," close quote. Then, one night, after going to bed, Mr. Jones thought he must be dreaming when he awoke, floating in the air. Here now is former broadcast engineer, Mr. Jones.
When the incident began, and this is really weird, I found myself floating up out of the bed, across the room, through the wall of the house, out into the driveway, because I could feel the cold outside. I could feel my bare feet on the asphalt of the driveway. And as I stood there, I looked down the driveway towards the back of the house, and I saw a glowing coming out from behind the house, which looked really strange. There was no lights out there, no back porch lights or anything.
Color?
The color was white with a slight greenish tinge to it. And it was about 4 feet off the ground, but it was behind the corner of the house, so I couldn't see exactly what was causing it. So at this point, I began creeping down the wall of the house towards the light because I wanted to check it out. It was closer to my son's room, and I wanted to see what was going on. So I crept down the house and got close to it towards the corner, and then paused for a minute, and then looked around the corner